been head of subject, head of faculty, often goes on Twitter and been on the BBC. Her blog's a regular nominee in the education category. She has a book that's out that I can't wait to see. She's an ambassador for a charity. I know she is not that far away.
Yeah, Tim, yeah. Yeah, just keep looking, Tim. Tim, she's over there.
Ah!
Yeah. Pull over.
Mrs Humanities will carpool with us today.
Yes.
With us today.
There she... Oh, she's there. Oh, fantastic.
Hello, Victoria.
Hello, Victoria. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Oh, Miss Humanities is here, Tim.
What are the chances?
I don't know, Tim. What are the chances?
chances?
This is absolutely fantastic.
Now, whilst you're here,
Yeah.
is there any chance we could ask you a couple of questions?
Of course.
Oh, fantastic.
And one of our sayings, Tim,
Yes.
is health and safety never takes a
course,
holiday.
of
So
course.
if you could put your seatbelt on, that would be tremendous. Thank you very much.
I've just broken the back of the car.
Don't worry, don't worry. You know, do not worry.
Right, so episode number 1. Please could we have some tips or advice or support regarding workload and well-being?
Of course. So for me, the thing that's really kind of reduced my workload is looking at feedback rather than marking. And as a result of that, I've completely changed the way that I lesson plan. I've simplified it, I'm constantly thinking about the outcome, and therefore I'm actually doing less work now than I was before. So I highly recommend even feedback, not marking.
Perfect. Anything else in regard, I know you're talking about feedback there. Is there any resources that you've actually used to help do that?
A huge variety. So for me, I first of all just tried everything to see what actually worked for me, what worked for my students. And one of the things I found most useful was a marking grid.
Yeah.
So you kind of set it up in advance. You can have it for just one piece of work or for several pieces of work. And all you do is you put the criteria in, the things that you think the students might need to do to improve, a little bit of space just in case something comes up that you weren't expecting. And then you can just highlight. It's brilliant. Live marking, and then really easy to do after the lesson as well.
Brilliant. And do you use that for exam papers as well? Because I know we saw on Twitter earlier that you were saying, oh, do I do my papers now, or do you use that as an overall? So some common mistakes. Do you have that as an overall grid and do it that way?
I used to. Now I just use marking codes for marking exams.
Brilliant.
So I just give each comment a code, and then I just show those to the class and do whole class feedback, just telling them what the different codes mean and what they should do in the future, really, and then they have some time to actually act on that.
And do you think it has the same amount of impact as what you were doing previously, or even more impact for the students?
I'd say more impact, actually. It's more meaningful, it's manageable for me, and actually having those conversations with the students is really motivating because it's just timely feedback for them.
Yeah, and something that you mentioned there about live intervention in the classroom, I'm a big fan of that, because once you've marked the students have done the papers, and then you might maybe have 2-week turnaround, rather than the next lesson, let's all look at it together, let's all do live marking in the classroom when you've got the visualizer, and you're looking at that together, and then it's immediate feedback straight away, so they can go, oh yeah, I didn't understand that, or I've got a misconception about that, thank you very much, miss, and now I understand it straight away, rather than leaving it and they've actually forgotten about the exam paper. So I'm a big fan of that, and I think that's fantastic.
Have you found other people doing the grid as well? You know, since you've embedded it into your practice, have you found others doing it at your school?
Yeah, we do it across our department now, but also there's other departments that have taken on board some of the things that we do, and also some other departments have just created their own, just kind of through conversations or through their own research, and actually it's becoming a lot more popular now, particularly because we do the middle years programme, and they do kind of inquiry-based learning, and at the end of that they do a summative piece which kind of brings everything together, and lots of departments are now using that for those summative pieces.
That sounds awesome, like that compounding effect. I suppose the students are finding it really beneficial as well, because they're used to these grids, they're used to it, you know, and that snowball effect is just having so many positives for everyone, it seems.
Absolutely.
I'm intrigued to what you just said then, inquiry-based learning. Can you just talk to us about that?
Okay, so essentially you kind of have a question to start with, or statement of inquiry, which is what the International Baccalaureate want you to do, and then from there you kind of break it down. Students come up with questions, and then using those questions you kind of plan your lessons, but also there's a lot of kind of direct instruction from the teacher. So whilst the students are inquiring and they're what they need to learn and kind of redirecting them when they're kind of going off track.
Yeah, I love that.
And completely kind of going a little bit too far into the topic.
Yeah. And it's essentially learners leading learning there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then obviously when there are misconceptions, that's when the teacher steps in and develops that. I think that's tremendous.